If every time you want to turn off that check engine or service engine light, you have to take it to a shop or auto service center, I recommend you stick around until the end of this video. I'll be showing you 3 different ways to turn it off without needing a scanner. And if you don't believe me, I invite you to keep watching as I'll be doing this practically so you can see the 3 methods for turning it off without requiring a scanner. For those who haven't subscribed yet, I invite you to subscribe to the channel, give it a like, and share it on your social networks. So friends, let's get to the video. As many of you know, the service engine or check engine light, also known as the engine service light, is one of the most important warning lights in your vehicle. This warning light is related to engine failures, but depending on the year and model of your vehicle, it can also be related to other modules. These can include problems with the transmission module or computer, issues with the chassis module or computer, or depending on the manufacturer, any other module. In this case, what we're going to see is how to turn off the light without needing to use a scanner, and in a completely safe manner. Remember friends, the service engine light comes on for several reasons, sometimes due to intermittent problems, current issues, and also because of historical codes. For people who want to know why the check engine light comes on and how to fix it, I'll leave a link where you can see the most common reasons why it turns on and how to solve them as well. So friends, let's move on to the first method. In the case of the service engine or check engine light, it should normally turn on when we turn on the warning lights and then turn off once the vehicle starts. This is the normal way it should turn off. But when the check light stays on, it's necessary to use a scanner to find out why it's turning on. This method is aimed at people who often already know what problem they have, but are bothered by the check engine light and don't want to keep paying every time they need to turn it off. This video is directed toward people who don't have access to a scanner. Method 1. Key cycling. The first method is through switching, or what we call key cycles. In this case, I'll show you how to do it with the first method. Some vehicles allow the check engine or service engine light to be turned off this way. What we need to do is turn the switch until the warning lights appear, leave it for 5 seconds, and then turn the key back for approximately another 5 seconds. We're going to perform this process 5 times, since most vehicles need confirmation to verify that the code is no longer present. An example of this is when we've disconnected the TPS sensor or the airflow sensor. It confirms that the sensor is now connected and won't trigger the check light again. I should mention that this method doesn't erase the configurations that are in the radio or on the dashboard, which is why this is the method I most recommend. In some cases, they have a memory that can be erased manually. Method 2. Fuse removal. The easiest way to locate this method is through the fuse box, since all computers always have a fuse or current or voltage, however you want to call it, to store all the information they're receiving after disconnecting the ignition line or switch. The easiest way to locate it is to go to the fuse box and start looking at the name of each fuse. In some vehicles, depending on the brand, the fuse can come with various names. One of them might appear as memory, EFI, or ECM. For people who have doubts about this method, you can leave me the year and model of your vehicle in the comments, and I'll gladly advise you which fuse belongs to your vehicle. After locating the fuse we need to remove, we're going to carefully remove that fuse and wait at least 30 seconds before putting it back in, as this is enough time for the computer's memory to be completely wiped clean. I want to tell you, friends, that with this method, you won't damage absolutely anything. What I'm telling you is to properly identify which fuse you need to remove, since, as I mentioned, all vehicles have this process. I've been using this method for many years since older vehicles that didn't have OBD2 systems or scanners with the features that today's models have required, removing a fuse that always connected to the computer's memory. After waiting about 30 seconds, we're going to put the fuse back in and go start the vehicle. In this case, as you'll see, it's going to start and the check light will turn off, but it hasn't lost the time, proving itself. Method 3. Battery disconnection. From the computer, any other configurations you may have made will be erased. For example, In the stereo, the radio stations, the schedule, the clock, the equalization, and any other configuration you may have made on the vehicle's dashboard. In this case, it's only necessary to completely disconnect one terminal from the battery. My recommendation is to wait at least 5 minutes before reconnecting the battery, as this is the estimated time that's often needed to completely erase the memory. I'm leaving this method directly under your responsibility, since in some vehicles, there may be a need to recalibrate the throttle body. We often do this process when the previous methods don't erase the check engine light, since once we completely join the terminals or battery posts, the capacitors contained in the computer are completely discharged, and this way, it does a total erasure of the computer's configurations. Method 4. Terminal shorting. As I mentioned, the only thing you need to do is place or join the two battery terminals with the battery disconnected and make a bridge between them. You can touch them together, so to speak, or you can connect them and leave them for at least 10 seconds, then remove them again and reconnect. This is a method that's used when none of the previous ones work. In this case, after having the terminals in short circuit for more than 10 or 30 seconds, we're going to disconnect the terminals and reconnect the battery again. Regarding the throttle body system recalibration, this only affects vehicles that have an electronic throttle system. Those with an IAC system or idle air control valve wouldn't be affected by this process. For those who have watched the video until the end, I thank each one of you. I try to improve the videos every day so that each of you has the information and can repair your vehicles, and above all, for free. So friends, I thank each one of you. Remember, for those who haven't subscribed yet, I invite you to subscribe to the channel, give it a like, and share it on your social networks. Remember, I'm uploading videos on all topics related to vehicles. So friends, until next time.